Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. Today, of course, we have a bunch of news to go through as usual, so let's just get straight into it. We're starting off with news here. Looking at Chelsea, we're very close to signing goalkeeper Gabriel Solnina. If the new owners are very happy with these kinds of moves, then it could still go ahead. Now, there's also talks that Real Madrid are in for him, and Real Madrid are quite deep in negotiations, so if Chelsea are going to go in for him, we're going to have to go quick. Now, we will go over the fact that the takeover is officially complete for Chelsea. We'll mention that later on. But for now, let's focus on the fact that Gabriel Solnina, that is going to be so annoying to say, could be a target at Chelsea's, and we were very close to signing him before these sanctions actually went through. Apparently, we were literally one step away from completing it. So let's take a look at him. 18 years old, goalkeeper, right-footed, very tall. His strengths are running out and long shot saving, and has no outstanding weaknesses. Of course, the heat map and stuff like that isn't going to give you much. Currently playing at Chicago Fire in the MLS, so not a very strong team at all. And you can see here, the average ratings don't look great. If you're looking at that, you'd be very disappointed in these performances. But considering that he's playing, like European clubs, maybe understandable. He's had 14 starts, goals conceded per game about 1.4, saves per game about 60%, which isn't great. Of course, in a Chelsea team, he's going to face far less shots, and those shots will be far less threatening than what you'd typically expect for a Chicago Fire defense. And he's pretty good when he runs out. You can see about 80% successful when he comes out to go and collect it. You can have a look at some of these other bits, but generally there's not too much else. There's 5 clean sheets out of those 14 starts, and overall this season in the last 12 months in the MLS, 6.90 average rating. So it's really just this recent history here that makes it look bad. 6.90 isn't too bad. And you can see leading up to November and during November had a very strong few months, and has tailed off a little bit recently. This past month in May has been abysmal for him, so not ideal. I don't know much about the guy. I'm going to be doing some more research myself now that we've obviously got confirmed interest in him, and Chelsea could be going for him. But obviously if Chelsea are going for him, Real Madrid are going for him, there's obviously something about this guy that is going to be worth signing. And we'll see on this one. If you guys know more, please feel free to enlighten us in the comment section down below, because like I said, I'm pretty clueless on the guy. Looking at the stats, 5 clean sheets in 14 appearances, it's not great, but he's also playing in a really bad team, so understandable maybe. Yeah, so on this one, let me know what you guys think of it. We'll move on to the next topic. Now this one is big. We've got club working on potential 65 million euro plus package to sign Chelsea player. End of June is the deadline. Now if we go down to this tweet down here, and this is apparently quite accurate. Lukaku to Inter, the current framework for the possible return to Inter Milan. I guess I accidentally clicked on it, but sure, we'll go from here. It would be a 1-year loan of about 15 million euros with a buy option between 50 and 60 million euros. His salary, I believe that then would be 7 million euros net, which he'd obviously need to accept. Has to be done by the end of June. It says negotiation is still difficult, but the parties will try to find a solution. So, how does that look for Chelsea? So it could total out at about 65 to 75 million euros for Chelsea. So obviously we paid close to 100 million pounds for him. So when you consider that, Chelsea be getting a bit over half of what they paid. For Lukaku, we'll be making that much back. If it's about 65, 75 is looking a little better. It's 3/4 of the way there. His wages would be 7 million euros post-tax. Whether he's willing to accept that, I don't know. I think probably he would, because it doesn't seem he's got any interest in really fighting for a spot at Chelsea. And I think, he, as much as he talks about loving Inter Milan, well, now's the time to prove it then, accept a 7 million wage package, and go from there. It says that this has to be done by the end of June. So we've got a month for this to be sorted out. If it's not, then Inter Milan are not going to proceed with him, and they'll either continue with what they got or look elsewhere. So it looks like it'd be a loan for 1 year, and then 50-60 million. Do Chelsea accept this? Depending on, obviously Chelsea are going to have the best, the manager and the player, the people at the club are going to have the best idea for what Lukaku's mindset is at the moment. If he really just isn't looking like he's going to buy into what we are wanting to do at Chelsea, then I think just let him go. It's a loss. It's a big loss that we're going to take, but with new ownership in place, I think it's important just to get some of these players, you know, that maybe don't need to be at the squad anymore, out. Lukaku, personally, in my opinion, I know a lot of people don't see it this way, but to me, he is a bad omen in that dressing room. Whilst I think he does try on the pitch, he does what he needs to do. If his heart isn't at Chelsea, then I can't be keeping him at the club, in my opinion. So for me, it's get him out, accept the loss. It's going to be painful for us, but you know, we've got new owners and we've got money. We'll be okay, and we can focus on building, you know, a future for this club under Todd Boehly and Clear Lake Capital that hopefully will be very successful. You know, does that mean then that we can go out and buy a new striker? Possibly. Does it mean we have to persist with Armando Broja and Kai Havertz as the strikers for the next year? Maybe. You know, I don't think they're going to score crazy numbers in the Premier League next year if both of them come back. Well, if Broja comes back, and obviously we're keeping Kai as a striker. 10 plus goals for both of them would probably be a realistic target. I don't think we'd be getting close to 20, 30 goals, you know, some of the crazy numbers that some strikers in the league put up. So for me, let him go and we'll deal with what comes after, because keeping him at the club is just bad news in my opinion. Then of course we have had the announcements come through that the consortium led by Todd Boehly and Clear Lake Capital completes the acquisition of Chelsea Football Club. There was also another one put out by this board of directors, another statement, and some notes from Roman Abramovich. I'm glad it's all over, you know, at last, by the end of the month just about. We've seen this takeover complete. They go on to mention a bunch of different stuff, basically saying that they did the takeover, something that normally takes a year, in about 3 months, and just a lot of waffle like that, you know, business stuff that Chelsea fans don't really need to concern themselves with too much. But it's of course good news, you know. Roman Abramovich is gone. We had a great 19 years with him. I thank him for everything he did for Chelsea Football Club. And now we move forward with Todd Boehly, Clear Lake Capital, and hopefully have a really successful future. I mean, it's going to be a strange time at Chelsea. You know, we've known Roman for the past 20 years. So many fans will have grown up only ever knowing Roman. So for me, it's going to be different. You know, I'm 24 years old. I only really know of the Roman era. Of course, I know the history behind the club and, you know, Ken Bates, all this sort of stuff previously. But it's gonna be strange for new Chelsea fans. That's all I'll say. I'm happy it's gone through though. A lot of money going to be invested into the club, academy, women's team, all that sort of important stuff as well. And Chelsea will continue to prosper. You know, it's in our DNA, so we'll be fine. But we got a good transfer window coming up. It looks like Koundé, Dembele are pretty much locked transfers now. Whether we go in and end up getting a few more, I'd expect so, depending on the departures, but we'll see how it ends up going for Chelsea. It's going to be a interesting transfer window for sure under the new ownership. I am going to end the video there, guys. If you did enjoy, please be sure to leave a like on it, hit subscribe and the notification bell so you never miss a future video. Let me know what you guys think of the whole takeover finally being completed. Are you happy? Are you sad that Roman's gone? Like, let me know what it is. And of course, the big story probably being Lukaku. That deal, is it a good one for Chelsea? Is it one which we should accept? Or should we hold off and maybe try him for another year and hopefully bring his heart back to Chelsea? And hopefully some goals too. Let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Goodbye.